Hey Curvy Mamas, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by and I'm so glad to see your smiling face. How are you all doing? I have to apologize because I have not been around for a while. I've posted a couple things on like TikTok and my Instagram, but I haven't made a video in a while because this extrovert is struggling. I have lacked some serious motivation and creativity in this quarantine time, so I do apologize for not making any videos or content lately, but I promise I'm working on some things, so hopefully I can get those out soon. Yeah, so today's video is going to be how to do your makeup on a budget. You know, maybe you don't have a ton of makeup, or you just you're getting started and you kind of really don't know where to start and everything just seems so expensive and overwhelming. I'm just gonna give you my advice and show you what you should splurge on and things that you can get at like drugstores or Target or whatever that's gonna work just as good for you. Okay, so starting with your skin, you're gonna need a few products. So primer, foundation, concealer, and a powder. Those are gonna be kind of your staples outside of like moisturizer and all that stuff. I'm not really going into skincare for now. Just kind of makeup. So out of those things, I would splurge on your foundation. So I'm not bashing drugstore foundation whatsoever. I know there's a lot of good ones. I actually use a lot of them. The Fit Me line from I think Maybelline. I don't have it right here with me to show you, but the Fit Me line's really good. What's this one? Well, the sticker's ripped off of this one, but it is the NYX, the Can't Stop Won't Stop. I like this, but it's too light, so I don't use it. So those are a couple good ones, but for foundation, I would really prefer to use something a little bit higher end, just because I feel like it lasts better. Doesn't separate as much. Typically it gives you more coverage. And that's the other thing, whenever you're looking for a foundation, you're gonna wanna look for coverage. Because if you're first starting out in makeup and you're kind of like, I don't even know, like when I used to ask people like, you know, what kind of foundation are you looking for? And they would just look at me like, foundation? I don't know. There's so many different kinds of foundations. There's light coverage, there's medium coverage, there's medium to heavy coverage, there's heavy coverage, there's liquid powder, foundation for oily skin, foundation for dry skin. I mean, there's a lot. So first of all, you want to think about your skin. Are you somebody who needs a lot of coverage? Do you have a lot of discoloration, a lot of things you want to cover? You're going to want to go for more of a heavy coverage foundation. If you just are like me, when you need some of your redness, I don't have anything on right now, so this is just my skin, but like I for the most part have nice skin other than like the redness in my cheeks. So basically I just kind of like to even out my skin tone, so I go for something with light coverage, sometimes medium coverage when I'm doing like an Instagram look or something crazy. So the key is to just kind of look for something, how am I trying to say this? Like the least amount of coverage that'll do the job for you. So like like I said, I don't really need a ton of coverage. If I got a full coverage foundation, it would just kind of look cakey for no reason, because I don't really need it. So the trick in looking the most natural is to get the least amount of coverage that'll still cover. Who let me get a YouTube channel? I can't speak. I'm sorry. I'm the worst. Anyway, moving along. So foundation, definitely splurge on, you know, go to Sephora for something like that, basically, is what I'm saying. Everything else, you could definitely just do drugstore. So for your primer is going to be that thing that kind of evens out your skin, fills in those pores and fine lines and things, and makes everything just sit really nice and smooth on your skin. So it's definitely important. And the one I want to show you is currently missing. I don't know where I put it. Okay, here's one. Here's the NYX Studio Perfect. This one's a photo loving primer, so it's supposed to like soften everything and kind of be like a filter in real life, I guess. But the one I like the most is the ELF brand one, the Poreless Putty Primer. It's in like a little pot, and it just kind of gives me a really nice I don't know, it goes on really nice, and it's supposed to, you know, blur everything, kind of do the same thing as what I just said. I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, the ELF one's really good. And concealer, now if you have some intense things that you need concealed, I mean, if your under eyes are like black, or, you know, I would also splurge on concealer. But if you really just need to brighten up some areas or cover some acne or whatever it is you have, drugstore concealer is going to be just fine. This one's my favorite, the ELF Hydrating Camo Concealer. They have a regular, this is the regular concealer, but they just, I think recently came out with the hydrating one, which is really great because I have super dry skin. So it is 16? I think it's 16-hour wear it's supposed to be, but works great. And like the same with foundation, the concealer is going to have different kind of coverage, so light, medium, heavy coverage. They're going to be like liquid, sometimes they're cream. Cream tends to be heavier, so like I said, depending on your situation, I feel like most of the time you can just get away with like the cheaper concealer. But if that's one of your main concerns, then I would definitely splurge on concealer. And if dark circles are your main problem, or acne or scars or whatever it is you want to cover, if that's your main problem, I would splurge on the concealer over the foundation. Or both, you know, whatever. So, oh, okay, and then powder. I should have like written myself a list, but we're just gonna wing it because that's what I do. I'll wing it all the time. Okay, so when you're doing your skin makeup, I always would suggest setting it with some sort of powder. And then there's two different kinds of powders. There's pressed powder and there's loose powder. So loose powder does tend to sit in your fine lines. So if you maybe have more mature skin, I might not use the loose powder. I would go with more of a pressed powder. So this is, surprise, surprise, apparently this is all I use. I would have to say ELF is definitely my favorite drugstore brand, but I have had, I can't think of what the other ones that I had. Oh, again, the Maybelline, the Fit Me, they also have a pressed powder that I do like. So I find usually the powder, drugstore, for sure. This one is translucent, but I also have ones that have like color to them. This one is MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. This one's really nice. It's really like blurring and it photographs really well. But again, I feel like, you know, I don't see too much difference between drugstore and a more expensive brand for powder, so I would go with drugstore on that front. So moving along, let's go to the eyes. Starting with your brows. If you have beautiful full brows, drugstore, obviously. You don't even have to honestly buy anything special for your eyebrows. You can literally just use your eyeshadow and an angle brush. You know, take like a palette like this and just, if you have dark hair, you can use the taupe for something lighter. I mean, if you're really just filling in the tail a little bit, just go with what you have. Go with a natural color of eyeshadow. I mean, that's gonna work just as well as any pencil. Here's a, again, ELF. This is a nice pencil. It's twists up and has the little spoolie on the back there. Now, if you're someone like me who has absolutely zero eyebrows, this is completely drawn on. Actually, it was drawn on yesterday and I slept on it, so don't judge me. They look really bad right now, but if you have zero eyebrows, then I would splurge, because by far the dip brow from Anastasia Beverly Hills is my favorite. And then this is in blonde. It's a gel, so I just use the gel with an angle brush and it does the job. It looks good. I find there's similar products in the drugstores that I've tried, I just don't like as much. They don't show up as well. You can't get that really tight line. So like I said, if you have zero brows, it's not gonna look the greatest. So I would go with a more expensive brand for your brows. Now for your shadows, I feel like I have a mix of stuff. I have a million palettes, let's be real. But if you want to use a drugstore palette, let's say, I would splurge on an eye primer. So I'm trying to think. I think I have a drugstore palette somewhere. Okay. All right, this one is an NYX one. So most people would get their drugstore palette and just kind of throw it on the eye, and then I can't even get this open. Oh my god. Ow. Oh god. Okay, so you see all these like crazy bright colors and you're all excited and, you know, hoping that it's gonna be really nice. Let's try blue here. And then on your hand, it's pretty bright, a little bit patchy, but it's doable for, you know, being something cheap. So I would splurge on something to prime your lids with. You could either use, I have two MAC products. There's either the 24-hour extended eye base or the Paint Pot. This is what I use pretty much anytime I do an eye look. This is in Painterly. It's basically just a cream shadow, not gel. So I'm gonna put cream shadow underneath here. And then I'm going to go back to that same palette, same blue color. And I'm going to okay. I don't know if you can really see the difference, but do you see how much bolder it gets over top of a paint pot? And then you can see how much better it stayed when I tried to rub it off. So eye palettes, I'm gonna say, is up to you. You can splurge, you can get whatever your little heart desires. I would just spend some good money on something to prime your lid, because that's what's really gonna make all of your colors pop. And the other thing that I would splurge on would be eyeliner. So this is my favorite eyeliner here, Black Track. It's a gel liner. Also these any of these like prolong wear liners, again from MAC. Anything that's going to be long wearing, I would definitely splurge on something like that. Not saying that you can't use a drugstore brand eyeliner, especially if it's like a gel liner like the this Black Track. If it's similar to this one, I feel like once it dries, it's gonna be just about as good. But any of like the pencils or kohl liners or anything that you're gonna like be smudging underneath or on your waterline, I would definitely get something a little bit more expensive, because I find that the drugstore ones tend to rub off really, really quickly. So if you want something that's going to be like long wearing and you're not going to wear it like under here, splurge on your eyeliner. Now for your lashes, depending on if you just do mascara, I feel like all mascaras are the same. Some of them have different like wands. So if you're looking for, let's say you want more definition, or you just want to like spread them out, I would go for something that has like a really small brush that's gonna be really tight. But if you're looking to really extend them and make them super fluffy, you're gonna want a bigger, fatter, fluffier brush. But I don't really care, because I just wear lashes. So I would go with whatever mascara makes you happy. Honestly, I like the Maybelline one the most out of anyone. The Better Than Sex one, I think I still have, maybe? I don't have, oh no I do, yep. This one from Too Faced is really good. So like if I was gonna splurge on a mascara, it would be this one. But like I said, I feel like you can use pretty much any mascara and it would be fine. Also, if you are going to do like fake lashes, Duo Glue, which super cheap, you can find at a drugstore, and honestly the Ardell lashes, I wouldn't go for the crazy expensive ones, you know, that you see on like Instagram and stuff. Just get the Ardell ones, really. I mean, they're just, we have some here. Or Kiss. I really like the Kiss brand. I have a couple left. Like these. I mean, they work great. Oh, lips. Anything. I think lipstick has come a long way. And gloss even. And liner. I feel like you can use pretty much anything. If you want something to be super, super long wearing, you can get like MAC has the Pro Longwear line, something like that. But oh shoot, I don't know where my what brand was that? I don't know, but L'Oreal, Maybelline, they all have their own like liquid lipsticks and 24-hour. I think it's Maybelline though that has the 24-hour wear. I don't know, all day wear, whatever. I actually really like that one. I have it. It's downstairs. I don't feel like going to get it, but it's a liquid lipstick, and then once it dries, it has, the other side has like a little bit of a gloss that kind of just goes over top, and that one is really nice and long wearing. So I feel like whatever lipstick makes you happy, you can get that anywhere pretty much. There's not very much difference. And then to finish off your whole look, I definitely suggest using some sort of setting spray. Now, I'm kind of on the fence on what you should use. I'll tell you, this one by far is my favorite, the Urban Decay. It's called the Makeup Setting Spray, Cooling and Hydrating. This is like the 24-hour one, so it feels really nice, it smells really nice, and I feel like it does the job, holds my makeup on, keeps everything in place. But I also really like the, where's my other one? Okay, well, I have this one for now, the NYX. This is the matte. I also have the dewy. Again, it has different finishes, just like foundation, matte, dewy, whatever. This one's the matte. So depending on what kind of look you want to go for, this one I feel like works pretty much just as good as the more expensive one. So it doesn't really matter that much, but I feel like you should definitely have some sort of setting spray. Oh, and I forgot to talk about like your tools. So brushes, you want to get decent brushes. So like you don't have to drop a ton of money on crazy expensive Morphe brushes or whatever, although they probably are the best. But I honestly have had really good experiences with other brands. I mean, ColourPop, I have a whole set of like these kind. They're really great. ELF, I have a whole set of their brushes. They're pretty good except for the glue that holds this sometimes gets loose. So you could take that into consideration. Then these are just like the Sephora brand ones, I think these are just Sephora brand, but these are really nice. I love these ones. They're super soft, super fluffy. And then I had a full brush belt of MAC brushes when I worked there. So, and you know, they're great. Those ones I felt like lost their bristles fairly easily, but again, I don't know if it's just because I was using them constantly and washing them constantly. It probably had something to do with that. But again, I wouldn't go for like the cheapest Amazon brushes you can get, because they feel almost like rubbery to me, and you get kind of like a streaky application. So don't go super cheap, but you don't have to completely splurge. You can get ColourPop, ELF, Sephora brand. They work just as good. Same with like the beauty blenders. I can't really tell the difference between a beauty blender and a regular dollar store sponge. So definitely when you're getting tools, get a range. The cringiest thing I see is people using one brush to do every color on their lid, and it's like, you gotta know which brush to use you have to have a couple different brushes to use for your eyes. So like, you know, you want like a flat brush maybe for your lid color that might be lighter, and then maybe you use one like this for your darker colors that you want to kind of blend out. You're gonna need an angle brush for your, I'm bad at holding these, for your eyeliners and smudging and all that stuff. And you know, you're gonna need concealer brushes, but a lot of places, like I said, you can get like a whole set for fairly cheap. So I would go with that route because that way you kind of get a little bit of everything. I think I covered pretty much everything I want to cover. Yeah, I think that's it for now. But I find if you just kind of build on your collection every now and then, like every time you kind of go in Target, grab one $6 primer or an $8 mascara or something, and then you kind of just start to build up your collection and you kind of see what you like, see what you don't. Anyway, I hope you found that helpful. Hopefully I can get some new content out for you, and don't forget to catch me on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, and I think that's it. I will hopefully be posting some more things soon, and as always, thanks for tuning in, mamas.